Good afternoon, everyone. We are reading from our usual book, Strength for the Day. And the title of our lesson today is Nothing is Hopeless with God. But they do not know the thoughts of the Lord, and they do not understand his plan. For he has gathered them like sheaves to the threshing floor. Micah 4 verse 12. I read this verse one morning in my devotional, and it stuck out to me. I have read Micah before and honestly have struggled at times to understand the minor prophets. After I had read the verse a couple of times, it hit me. I do not know God's thoughts or his plans, but he does. I cannot see what is coming, but he can. The nations had surrounded Israel, and from where they were positioned, they felt confident of a sure victory. If you were in Israel at this time, things were looking very bleak and hopeless. You may have even found yourself saying, "This is hopeless." But then God stepped in. His plan overruled everything Babylon had declared. They did not know the Lord's thoughts or understand his plan. What looked hopeless at one point in time was turned into hope and deliverance when God directed it that way. The situation changed from bondage to freedom. And that is the difference between what we can see or imagine and what God can see and make possible in his power. While I may see only the mile in front of me, God sees the whole route I am traveling. He sees it with all its possibilities and problems. Micah reminds me that though I do not know the Lord's thoughts or understand his plans, that is okay. I do not need to know them because he does. And that is all I need to remember. We can rest assured that his plans are always right and lead to what is best for us, even when we do not understand them at the time. So the next time you find yourself thinking that things are not going to happen or that a situation is hopeless when it did not go the way you thought it would, remember that we do not know God's plans. He has set things in motion that he has planned for our ultimate good. When we trust his plans and not our own, everything will work out the way it should. If today, my dear brother and sister, you find yourself in a place of uncertainty or disappointment, you are in a good place, for it is here where God can work. Trust in God's thoughts and plans for you. They will always work out in the right way and at the right time. Deborah Snyder. I don't know about you, but I have been left strengthened for the day and encouraged for the day. The title of our lesson today was Nothing is Hopeless with God. And Miss Snyder, she so ably reminds us that a dismal and hopeless situation, once God is injected into it, there is hope, there is life, there is victory. We think about the Israelites and their feud with the Babylonians. The Babylonians were their enemies, and those enemies had plotted to annihilate them. Despite the situation looking very dismal, they had hope because they know who they serve and who would come through for them. And so said, so done. They conquered the Babylonians despite them not having what would seem like favor on their side. They came out victoriously. And the same God of yesterday is the same God today. So if you are facing a situation that seems hopeless, if I am facing a situation which I do face quite a bit of situations that seem hopeless, but we have this blessed assurance that once we invite God into the situation, there is hope. Whether it be finding a job, there is hope. Whether it is a health situation, there is hope. Whether it be a relationship with a parent, a family member, a sibling, whoever it is, there is hope. Once God is injected, whether it is finding a kingdom partner, as I would call my future partner that God will provide, there is hope. So there's nothing impossible for God to do. Once we trust Him wholeheartedly, once we leave it at the foot of the cross and say, God, this situation, I do not see how there will be a way, but I know you will make a way. He will come through. The Bible reminds us that God is not a man like me and you, that He would ever lie. It's not in His nature. He cannot lie. He doesn't change. And that's the blessed assurance that we have. So, if you are facing a hopeless situation today, whether it be with the finances, whatever it is, there is hope with God. There's always hope with God. I hope that you feel the encouragement today, because sometimes we don't feel very encouraged because the system that we exist in, the people that we are surrounded by, they don't instill that kind of hope. And unfortunately, if the persons around you are not Christ-minded or putting God first in their lives, they will sap your energy. And that's something that I have learned with experience. I haven't been on earth that long, but I've recognized that I really appreciate my Christian friends in this walk of life. I appreciate persons who pray for me, who encourage me in the Lord, because not every day I am on a high with God, and that's just the truth. It's human. But when I have my sisters or my brothers who say, I am praying for you, it brings me to another level. It helps me to renew my relationship with God. And it reminds me that, look, this relationship with God is more important than anything else in this life. It's more important than the degree that you're gonna get, the money that you're trying to make, I don't even know what other thing that people put on a pedestal, the relationship that you're trying to get. The relationship that you have with God is paramount, because if He's not in the midst of it, then it makes no sense. There's no hope. There is no hope. So I would encourage you today, associate yourself with positive people, Christ-minded people, because it makes a difference. Your little friends who, drinking and smoking, and they can't help you. They don't know how to inspire hope or instill hope in your life, because they themselves are in a hopeless situation. And until God shines His light into their situation, into our situation, we're just going to be walking corpses. So I hope the message made sense today. This is just my humble take on the lesson. I hope that it has encouraged you, and I hope that you have been strengthened for today. And we're not perfect, but His presence will make us perfect. He will work on us the way that He needs to work on us, and we just have to give our all to Him, no matter how hard it is, because it is hard for me as a young person, a young lady. But we just have to get back up every time. Every time we fall, we get up again. That's the motive. Getting up every time we fall. So, thanks for listening. God bless you, and I'll see you tomorrow.